HR38, the Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act, has been pre-filed. Let's talk about that here on Guns and Gadgets. Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your premier source for Second Amendment news. If it is Second Amendment news you're after, if you're a patriot, if you're interested in freedom, if you are sick and tired of the constant attack on our right to keep and bear arms, please consider subscribing to this channel. This is where you're going to find the news, no matter when or where it happens, on a daily basis. And also give the video a thumbs up and share it with as many people as you can to keep them in the know. Before I jump into this bill, I want to thank Big Daddy Unlimited for being one of the sponsors of this channel. You can check them out. They are like a super center of items that we use, from firearms items to camping to fishing. If you're looking for it, chances are they have it, and the chances are very high that it's at a lower cost than most other places. Check them out, 99 cents for the first month. You can look around, you can find out what they have, buy as much as you want. If you buy stuff, it's very worth it. You can find the link through my website down below, gunsandgadgets.com. YouTube doesn't let us post links to things that are totally free to do in this country. So let's move on. HR38 has been pre-filed. It was pre-filed yesterday by Representative Richard Hudson, and it already has 154 co-sponsors out the gate. I'm told that is historic. And these are bipartisan supporters. What does that mean? People from both sides of the aisle, both Democrats and Republicans. I did look through the list, and before it even gets considered, there are 3 Democrats who have signed on to this. Yeah, 3, but that's 3 more than you would think would sign a National Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act when it comes to concealed carrying firearms. Now, real quick, I'm going to read a quote from Representative Hudson, then we'll show you a bit of the bill here so everybody knows what it actually entails, and then we'll discuss what the bill has as far as a fight going forward. So Representative Hudson, when he submitted this, pre-filed this yesterday, said, "Our Second Amendment rights do not disappear when we cross state lines, and HR 38 guarantees that. The Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act of 2021 is a common-sense solution to provide law-abiding citizens the right to conceal carry and travel freely between states without worrying about conflicting state codes or onerous civil suits. I am especially proud to have such widespread and bipartisan support for this measure and will work with my colleagues to get this legislation over the finish line." And that, if that happens, would be fantastic. Now, Gun Owners of America have done a lot of work behind scenes for this bill, and we'll give you a quick quote by Eric Pratt, who is the boss man. He's the executive vice president of GOA. He said, "Our Second Amendment rights do not end at the state border. Congress must immediately pass the Hudson bill so that honest people don't go to jail simply because they carried a firearm for self-defense." Now, if you haven't already considered joining Gun Owners of America, I always say support those who support you, and they are one of the groups that are fighting the good fight. I also have a link down below. It's gunowners.org/gunsgadgets. It saves you money off of whatever membership you choose. None of it comes back here. Please donate it back to them for the fight. All right, so what does the bill say? For those who, first off, those of you who are in the know and been in the game for a while, you're going to say, wait a second, this was submitted before, and you would be right. This was submitted by Rep. Hudson in 2019 for the 2019-2020 session of Congress, which ended on Sunday. It has been pre-filed, like I said, so when they start taking bills next week, then this will be officially submitted. And just so we're aware, we're all on the same level playing field. When that bill was submitted in January 3rd of 2019, it was immediately assigned to the House Committee on the Judiciary, and then it was assigned to a subcommittee on crime, terrorism, and homeland security. Now, yesterday that bill, once it was pre-filed, was already submitted to that same committee. It's in the House Committee on the Judiciary. So we will keep our eyes open, but the previous bill did die in that subcommittee. Now, when that bill did die as of effective Sunday is when that session ended. That bill, the HR 38, the previous version, ended up with 167 co-sponsors, 2 of which were Democrats. So we're already up on the game as far as Democrats go, but make no mistake, this will have a fight. In my opinion, this will have a fight going forward to pass to get out of that ultra-liberal House of Representatives that we have now. But there were a lot of seats that flipped back over to the, say, more conservative side, and we're going to need some of those Democrats to pen their name to this if it ever has a chance. Now, the text of the bill hasn't been worked up yet because they're not doing that yet, but I do have a copy here that I got through Gun Owners of America, and I'll put it up here on the screen. You can see real quick, says this act may be cited as the Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act. We'll go to page 2 where the meat and potatoes are. It says, in general, Chapter 44 of Title 18 of the United States Code is amended by inserting after Section 926C the following, which would be a new Section 926D Delta, reciprocity for the carrying of certain concealed firearms. Notwithstanding any provision of the law of any state or political subdivision thereof, those are towns, except as provided in subsection B, and subject only to the requirements of this section, a person who is not prohibited by federal law from possessing, transporting, shipping, or receiving a firearm, who is carrying a valid identification document containing a photograph of the person, and who is carrying a valid license or permit which is issued pursuant to the law of the state and which permits the person to carry a concealed firearm or is entitled to carry a concealed firearm in the state in which the person resides, may possess or carry a concealed handgun other than a machine gun or destructive device that has been shipped or transported in interstate or foreign commerce in any state that 1. Has a statute under which residents of the state may apply for a license or permit to carry or conceal firearm, or 2. Does not prohibit the carrying of concealed firearms by residents of the state for lawful purposes, and then B, this section shall not be construed to supersede or limit the laws of any state that 1. Permit private persons or entities to prohibit or restrict the possession of concealed firearms on their property. So that means those businesses that don't want guns in their business could still say they can't come in here. 2. Prohibit or restrict the possession of firearms in any state or local government property, installation, building, base, or park. Nothing's changing as far as that goes. And C, a person who carries or possesses a concealed handgun in accordance with subsections A and B may not be arrested or otherwise detained for violation of any law or any rule or regulation of a state or a political subdivision thereof related to the possession, transportation, or carrying of firearms unless there is probable cause to believe that the person is doing so in a manner not provided for by this section, meaning you're breaking the law. Presentation of facially valid documents as specified in subsection A is prima facie evidence that the individual has a license or permit as required by this section. So what does HR 38 mean for those who don't do legalese? If this were to pass and become law, and if it is signed into law, it would become effective 90 days thereafter. Would Joe Biden sign this? Now, President Trump has on record 2 or 3 times said that if this ever made it to his desk, he would sign it, but the problem is getting it to the desk of whoever the president is. So what this law, if it were to become law, what it would do would be to allow anybody, if your state issues a license to carry, then you could carry nationwide. Okay, and prima facie evidence would mean that as long as you had that license on you and it had your picture, then it was proof that you were licensed to carry wherever you were. Now, this is not a constitutional carry bill. So this bill requires you to have a license or permit from the state in which you reside. For those states that do have constitutional carry, they do still issue permits for the reciprocity purposes, and that's what you would need in order to be able to carry nationwide in this bill. So is it perfect? No. Is it a fantastic start? Yes. The fact that there are 154 people already on board, 3 of which are from across the aisle, is a good start. However, you're going to have to pressure your representatives to get them to pen their name to this. It's not going to be able to get out of committee, never mind pass a full House vote on the floor, if there aren't enough people that will say they'll sign their name to it. Co-sponsors are people who say, I will vote for this if it gets to the floor. So the more we pressure our representatives, the more people would co-sponsor, therefore help it get out of committee and get to the floor for a vote. So that's how it happens in a nutshell. HR 38 has been pre-filed by Representative Hudson. I'll have a link down below. You can read this bill for yourself. It's 6 pages long. I'll also have a link down below where you can find out who your representative is, because some of them have changed, and now is a good time to start getting to know the new ones. Call them, let them know you want HR38 to pass and why it means something special to you. I travel interstate. I live on a border of 2 states, 3 states, and if I drive across the street, I'm in a different state, and my rights don't end, at the center line of that street. So it's going to come down to us again. So let's see what we can do this time around. All right, guys and gals, I hope you like the fact that there's a little bit of progress, but it does have an uphill battle. Let's not pretend, but it comes down to us. How much are you willing to fight for your right? If you got anything of value out of this video, please smash the thumbs up button and share this with everybody you know. And if you're not subscribed to this channel already, do it now. This is where you'll find all of the news related to the attack on our right to keep and bear arms. And it has increased tenfold, as you might have seen, and it's only going to get worse going forward, especially if the Democrats win today in Georgia and if Joe Biden is inaugurated and sworn in as president. So this is where you need to be if you want to stay in the loop. Until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, carry a weapon, and I will see you on the next one. Take care, everybody.